And on the U.S. tariffs, indeed, thank you for raising that question, which gives me an opportunity to respond to that. And indeed, we are firmly opposed to this unwarranted increase, and we do believe that this is in violation of the WTO rules. So that's why China is filing a complaint at the WTO, and also we may be forced to take countermeasures. And let me also emphasize that there is no winner in a trade war. And we do hope that the U.S. should look at its own problems, really find a solution that is beneficial not only to itself and also to the whole world. And frankly speaking, I don't think that raising tariffs is beneficial to the U.S. itself. And also I want to mention that the excuse for raising the tariffs is on the fentanyl. Let me also say that this is also very, very much unwarranted. And China is one of the countries that has the most stringent regulations on fentanyl. Actually, we have regulations on all fentanyl-related substance. Actually, China is the only country that put the whole category of fentanyl-related substance under regulation. And so, again, on this issue, the U.S. should approach this issue more from its own perspective. For instance, look at the demand side of the fentanyl, and rather than shifting the blames onto others. I don't think that will be a good for the U.S. itself. Let me say that China's initiative to hold this signature event is based on three considerations. The first one is the urgent need to reaffirm our commitment to multilateralism. We all know that this year marks the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations. And in our view, if the 80 years of the UN history have taught us anything, it is that multilateralism is the best guarantee for international peace and stability. So we believe that as the world enters a new period of turbulence, it is all the more important for countries to reaffirm their commitment to an international system with the UN at its core and to an international order based on international law. In particular, the principle of peaceful resolution of disputes. And second consideration is the urgent need to improve global governance. It is our belief that facing the myriad challenges around the world, no country can stay aloof or unaffected. The only option is to work together. At present, there is an increasing call in the international community, among the Global South in particular, for reforming and improving the global governance system. In our view, global governance reform is not about dismantling the existing system or reinventing the wheel. Our approach is one of innovation and improvement. It is to better reflect the changing realities of the global political and economic landscape and the common aspirations of the Global South. The aim is to build a more just and equitable global governance system, one that addresses the global governance deficit and ensures that its benefits are shared by all. Our third consideration is the urgent need to strengthen the role of the Security Council. The Security Council is at the core of the global collective security mechanism. The whole world looks to the Council members to work together to fulfill our duties mandated by the UN Charter. Yet, unfortunately, long-established practices that have served us well over the years are being eroded. Solidarity and cooperation are being replaced by division and confrontation. And very often, the Council has been unable to do anything in face of major security crises. This situation cannot continue. The Council must rise up to its responsibilities, and for that to happen, it must return to the path of multilateralism and the mutual consideration. So these are the rationale behind China's initiative to hold the signature event on multilateralism and the global governance. So we expect, as I said in my opening remarks, that the member states, in particular, the members of the Security Council, should reconfirm their commitment to multilateralism and to the role of the UN in order that the world could move in a better direction.
Good afternoon, Ambassador. Happy New Year. Gabriel Elizondo from Al Jazeera English. 2 questions, sir. Number 1.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Either in your capacity as president or in your national capacity, what exactly are you looking for on the West Bank issue in terms of coming out of the Council in perhaps the coming days? And second question on Panama. The United States claims that China has influence and control over the Panama Canal and or areas around the canal. Is that true? And what's your response to the Panamanian president announcing that he might end the 2017 Belt and Road Initiative with your country? Thank you.
So I'll answer your second question first, since this is directly related to China. Let me say that I think the accusation against China is totally false, is groundless. And let me emphasize that China has not participated in the management and operation of Panama Canal and has never interfered in canal affairs. China respects Panama's sovereignty of the canal and recognizes the canal as permanent neutral international gateway. So I want to put that on record. And with respect to the statement by the President of Panama regarding the Belt and Road Initiative, let me say that if I heard him correctly, that he is actually trying to not to continue with the memorandum, the understanding of a memorandum of understanding. I think that is a regrettable decision, because in the Belt and Road Initiative, first and foremost, let me say this, is an economic initiative. The purpose is to build up a platform for countries, especially the Global South, to have economic cooperation with each other. So it has nothing to do with any political agenda. So and the economic cooperation is mutually beneficial. So we do hope that country would see this in the proper light, and the smear campaign that is launched by the U.S. and some of the other Western countries on the Belt and Road Initiative is totally groundless. And so we will continue with our efforts in the hope that the Global South can work better, and China can provide assistance to the development of all these developing countries. Yeah, in the West Bank, we are, as I said, we are following the situation very closely, and we have seen the reports that the military attacks on Jenin and the refugee camps. So we do hope that the situation can improve, and Israel should stop attacking the Palestinian people. And with respect to the Security Council, and as I said, we are coordinating with member states, and we'll be happy to convene a meeting and in order to express our views, and if possible, take appropriate actions.
Next, Michelle, please.
Thank you, Ambassador. Michelle Nichols from Reuters. Just following up on all the other questions that have already been asked with regard to US-China relations and the deterioration that we're seeing at the moment, how do you think that might impact work here at the UN between yourself and your new incoming US counterpart? Do you think these tensions could affect anything else that the Security Council is dealing with?
Well, I'm sure you have, most of you have seen the hearings that the new PR of the U.S. had, and I saw most part of this. And I would like to say that from that hearing, I can see that she's a smart lady, articulate, and well prepared. And of course, I also took note of some of the prejudices and the misconception that he has expressed, which we strongly object to. And but on the whole, I do believe China and the U.S., being the two biggest countries in the world, have so much in common, and that we can cooperate on. For instance, within the framework of the United Nations, there are global issues that require the concerted efforts of the entire international community, and in particular countries like China and the United States, like the anti-terrorism, for instance, anti-narcotics, just now I have mentioned, and also non-proliferation issues, and also well, in my view, the climate change issue, and should also be an issue that the two countries can cooperate with each other. So, and also we have, and also within this House, China and the U.S. are the two biggest financial contributors to the UN, so it is only natural that our two countries have some similar concerns on how to enhance the efficiency of the Secretariat and the UN's work. So there are many things that China and the U.S. can work together. And I do hope that despite all the rhetorics that we have heard from the American politicians, we can take a constructive, and I will emphasize, a professional approach to our work here in the United Nations, because there are so many things that we can work together and so much is at stake. If China and the U.S. can work together and jointly, I'm sure we will be able to solve many problems and make the world a better place to live.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'm Ming Qianchen from Hong Kong Phoenix TV. We see that China has launched the artificial intelligence DeepSeek recently, which has aroused global attention. And President Trump said this could be a wake-up call for the countries. And he said the U.S. should win the competition between the U.S. and China on the AI developing. And we see that the U.S. Navy and also Texas has announced to ban DeepSeek. What's your response on that? And also last year, the UNGA has approved this resolution to enhance the global cooperation on AI. How would the U.S. and China cooperate while competing on AI development?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Indeed, the DeepSeek has caused global sensation, and also some commotion or even panic in certain quarters. And so I'm not a technical person, so I will not go into the technical details, but I'm sure, and I encourage all of you to use it. It will come in handy when you write your news reports, I'm sure. And but as I said, I will not go into the technical details, but I think the takeaway from this for me, in particular, is that the technological containment and technological restriction do not work. I think that is a lesson that the whole world should learn, in particular the U.S. should learn. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Never, ever underestimate the ingenuity of the Chinese scientists and engineers. And also I want to say that some of the knee-jerk reactions from some quarters is totally unwarranted. What we need is not more bans or more close-ups or more closures. Look at the Huawei, look at TikTok, now the DeepSeek. How many more do you want to ban? Huh? For us, the right approach is to open up, and is to have cooperation, both on the technological level and actually for the political level as well. And you mentioned the resolutions. Indeed, China and the U.S. being the two most advanced countries in terms of the AI, we have so much to cooperate. And as we always say, that AI has profound ramifications in all assets of human life. So actually, in my view, we cannot afford not to cooperate. And we need to cooperate in order to make the benefits of AI available to all countries, in particular in the global south. And actually, talking about the resolution, that is the reason why China put forward that resolution. That is to strengthen the international cooperation in terms of the capacity building, in particular for the global south. And actually, in addition to that, we all know that AI has both the benefits and also the potential risks. And there need to be real guardrails. And in order to have the proper guardrails in place as the AI develops, we need cooperation, in particular between China and the United States. If we have fragmentation, it can only enhance the risk and reduce the benefits. And I don't think that is in the interest of anyone, including the United States, and in particular, not in the interest of the whole world. So as I said, some of the knee-jerk reactions need to stop, and they are not warranted.
Ambassador, actually, I want to ask you the DeepSeek question. Actually, DeepSeek generated that question, but it's been asked by Inchen. So I will change to another topic. This month, the signature event is about implementing multilateralism. We know that the new U.S. administration now in the process of withdrawing Paris Agreement, withdrawing from WHO. We saw the sharp change of policy on UNRWA, and the incoming ambassador of U.S. also said that there will be America first, which means to curb the influence of China in the UN. With all this, what do you think of the withdrawing of multilateralism of the United States, and how are you going to communicate with the incoming new ambassador Stefanik on these issues? Thank you.
Well, as I said in my opening remarks, I think now we are faced with all these global challenges, and no country can stay aloof or can stay unaffected. That includes the United States, even though it is as strong as a country like the United States. So, of course, we do believe that multilateralism is the way forward. And, well, as to the foreign policy of the United States, it's up to the Trump administration to decide what policy they pursue. But as I said, as far as China is concerned, we stand ready to cooperate with any country, including the United States. And as I said, China and the U.S. have so much common interest when it comes to the tackling the global issues.